Good morning, everyone. We're going to have some tinfoil time today. It was brought to my attention that over on 4chan and Facebook and a few other places, apparently COVID-19 testing kits were traded among countries as early as 2017. While I normally don't like the debunking as a topic of video, I do talk a lot about COVID-19 and scamdemic truth on my channel, so I wanted to address this. I think that this has a rather simple explanation, which to me seems completely reasonable, and I don't think that there were COVID-19 kits being circulated by the millions in 2017 and 2018. I think that this can be explained by a simple clerical error on a website, and I'd like to walk you through why I think that. The claim is that according to a website called the World Integrated Trade Solution, COVID-19 test kits were circulated as early as 2017. Now, here is an archive of the site because it has since been changed, but let me show you what the origin of this is. But before we get into that, I'd like to show you what the World Integrated Trade Solution is. According to Wikipedia, the WITS is a trade software provided by World Bank that's used to query international trade databases. What this does, to keep it simple and not get into the weeds with this, what this site is for is to simply look at a single database and look at types of items being traded worldwide to see what kinds of orders are being exported and imported for different classifications of items. So here we have an archived page of the trade flow of 2017 of trade item 382200. And it's called COVID-19 test kit, right? Okay. And you can see here we are currently on import, and which you can toggle by clicking this button to go to exports. And you can see that the European Union, the United States, Germany, China, etc. My camera's covering up the actual number over here, so let me slide it to the left a little bit. You can see that it marks trade value 1,000 USD, and it shows the millions or the hundreds of thousands of supposed COVID-19 test kits traded. And you might say, "Oh, that's spooky, Yizz. How are they trading those test kits? 2 years before anybody even knew what the hell it was." Well, you can toggle over to 2018, and here's I already have the archive thing open. So here's the archive again of it being 2018. So the previous one was 2017, and as you can see, you've got the same numbers of millions. And you can click to see exports, and it shows the same kind of numbers. And it's all under the tag of COVID-19 test kit 38200. This is the archive, of course, because in the last few days it has been changed to show this. It's the same thing. You can see it says medical test kits instead of COVID-19 test kit. And we're going to come back to this specifically because of this number here, 300,215. With just a little digging, I was able to find a website, Health Feedback, and they provide a debunking for this, and it has a rather reasonable explanation I'd like to go over with you to show why I think this really is just a classification error on a database site. First up, this article talks about the archived links to the WITS site that I just showed you. The website says, however, as we explain below, this claim is based on a misunderstanding of how the system used to track exports and imports called the Harmonized System HS. It's likely little more than the result of an error in data labeling on the website. Now, here's a quote from the Department of Commerce, which I will open and show you. According to how the HS code system works, it's updated every 5 years, and there's a base 6-digit code for the category of item. And the category of item is that 6-digit code, the 382,200 that we looked at earlier, and it just stands for medical testing kit. That's what it stood for, and they cycle them every 5 years. This link will be in the description as well as all the other links. And here's the quote that they lift from that site. It says, among industry classification systems, the HS codes are commonly used throughout export process for goods. The harmonized system is a standardized numerical method of classifying trade products. It is used by customs authorities around the world to identify products when assessing duties and taxation for gathering stats. The HS is administered by the WCO, the World Customs Organization, and is updated every 5 years. It serves as a foundation of import-export classification system used in the U.S. and many trading partners. A Facebook post shows that the HS code associated with COVID-19 test kits is 382200. The assignment of this code to the COVID-19 test kits was established in the HS classification reference for COVID-19 medical supplies, jointly issued on April 9, 2020 by the WCO and WHO. The reference also explains that this code is based on pre-existing classification from 2017. Therefore, the HS code 382200 was already in use 2 years before the pandemic, as a COVID-19 test kit is merely a medical testing kit. It goes on to say, the code associated with medical testing kits in general is not specific to COVID-19. This demonstrates that the WITS pages, which display all imports by country under the code 382200, 2017-2018, showing the data displayed pertains to reagents, composite diagnostic and laboratory reagents, other than those of heading number 3002 or 3006. In short, the broad description can apply to any type of medical testing kit. And of course, they have a picture here that shows exactly what they're talking about from the site, which you can go and see yourself. All links will be in the description. The code's association with medical kits in general is corroborated by the Italian news organization Open, which reported in their fact-checking of the same claim that the code 382200 can also be found in the descriptions of a kit that processes semen and a testing kit for detecting another type of disease. All of this information together indicates that the data tables for 2017 and 2018 supposedly applying the COVID-19 test kits are actually displaying information about previously existing medical testing kits before the pandemic. The WITS website has since corrected the tables of 2017 and 2018 to display medical testing kits in the title rather than COVID-19 testing kits. It also has been updated to include the explanatory note, the data here track previously existing medical devices that are now classified by the WCO as critical to tackling COVID-19. And then they have pictures of what you can go and see in the link to the WITS site. The article closes by, of course, busting on those of us who ask questions about the scamdemic, so I'm not going to read that. From what I can see, it does seem like the classification of COVID testing kits under the medical testing kits does pan out the way that they say, especially when looking over at the WCO organization module that was released in Italy. Let me slide this to the left so you can see it a little better here. This does come from an official link, and this is an actual PDF, and within this is exactly what they talk about. The thing that sticks in my craw about this, however, is when you look at the now updated WITS website, the number is 300-215 now. It's not the number that is used for the medical testing kits, as they said before. Now, it says that they rotate this code out every 5 years. Did they change this number now? I couldn't find anything about this. I don't know. Maybe it's been 5 years now, and they're using a different number. Instead of 382-200, they're using 300-215. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I do know that enough around this seems to indicate that it was simply the category of medical testing kits, because when you look at the hundreds of millions in total of imports and exports, there's no way that those numbers would line up if it was specifically for only COVID-19 testing kit. I do personally believe that it was simply a miscategorization of whoever was typing in the title of medical testing kit. Maybe it was an intern, maybe it was someone who didn't know what they were doing. I don't know. Maybe it was simply a translation error going from English to something else, and someone said, oh, it's a medical testing kit. That means a COVID-19. And so they type in COVID-19 instead. I don't know. But what I do know is, from what you can see with the dozens of millions just to the top few countries, and when you add in the others from all these other countries here going all the way down the list, you're looking at dozens and dozens of millions of imports and exports under the same number of medical testing kit. So obviously it's not just talking about COVID-19. There are not that many millions of just a COVID-19 test being tossed around back in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, because together that's hundreds and hundreds of millions, probably in the billions under that same category. And that's just too many. This clearly is talking about medical testing kits of all kinds. That clearly is what this is talking about. And I don't think that there's any cover up to some type of greater conspiracy here. Of course, with the only outlier being my issue over the number itself being changed when they updated the website a few days ago from 382,200 to 300,215. They do say that they rotate the number every 5 years. Maybe that's just what happened here, because 2017, 2018 was 3 and 4 years ago. So maybe this is simply the number they're using for medical testing kits now. I hope that this helps shine some light on this. I was curious about it, so I looked into it, and in about 10 minutes I found out all the stuff that I shared with you in this video. If you want to do more digging, please do, and share with me in the comments below if you find out something new, if you find out more depth to this, maybe if you can find something about the numbers being changed. Let me know in the comments below. But this is what I've got so far, and I wanted to share it with my followers. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon.